Oh, Sunday. Oh, Monday. Oh, Tuesday. Alright, you guys, so I know this is supposed to be a recipe video, and it's not exactly where we're starting, because it kind of needed a confession tape to begin with. So I stopped at a gas station with my best friend before I made this video, and in my defense, I had seen on TikTok, go figure, I'm gonna blame TikTok for this, but really I feel like it's TikTok's fault. Anyway, so I saw on TikTok that they had birthday cake, Bang energy drinks. I should have known better. Even back in the day, like, I would drink a Monster and I would be like so hyper, so gone. And so I don't know, I didn't think about it. I haven't had one in a while. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. It was fun. Don't get me wrong, and I'm hoping I don't like make anybody click off this video, and please don't click off this video, because trust me, the recipe's still useful. And for all of my fears, I'm gonna tell you now, this does go really well, so it's completely worth watching, like totally worth watching. But the thing is still that that energy drink apparently is like a super energy drink, and I didn't know what any of that meant. I didn't know what any of that was, and so yeah, I was even standing in line at the gas station. I'm like, what does this mean? And my best friend goes, I don't know, I still think you should get it. And I was just like, okay. I'm like, it's one of those things where I love you, but we both know I probably shouldn't have listened to you. Much love, but oh my gosh, what was I thinking? Anyways, without rambling on for too much longer about what's going to make itself clear here in a couple of minutes, I hope everybody enjoys seeing what an ADHD person is like on an energy. Oh wow, I can't even talk now. I hope everybody enjoys seeing what an ADHD person is like on an energy drink, because this was an adventure, and I may or may have well, I may or may, that was great. I definitely, obviously, stayed up extraordinarily late to do this. And so, yeah, maybe that'll make a little bit more of some of the randomosity make sense, but I do for sure hope that you enjoy the video, and I hope that you enjoy the recipe, and it's really worth giving a shot, because oh my gosh, these are amazing. And I'm serious, if you need gluten-free food, these are gluten-free. I can do more gluten-free stuff if you guys kind of want to go down that vein, and I definitely would be down to experiment in some things. I myself don't really do a whole lot of like diet stuff, but I just know people that do, and that's why that came to mind and is such a near, thing to me. So anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you guys for coming by to see this, and I thoroughly hope that you enjoy what's about to come. Well, hello there, friends. It is me, your host, the Dread Pirate Space Buns, and look, it's my teddy bear outfit. I'm so excited about it. Oh man, this is harder than I thought. But I'm in my kitchen. Obviously, that's what this is, right? That only makes sense. But I'm here because we're gonna do something exciting. Because like last week on Reddit, I found this thing, and apparently you can make mochi brownies. And I'm gonna tell you what, like, I don't really like dessert, but if there is dessert I eat, I mean, there's two of them, and it's brownies and it's mochis. And so you put those two things together, and I am like 100% about this. There's absolutely no guarantee that this is going to go well, or even okay, or like turn out at all. So if this is terrible, I mean, you're along for the ride. I hope you at least enjoy the fail. It's what we've got. So, first off, let's start with what ingredients you're gonna need. You're wondering what this strange bag of white stuff is? It is sweet rice flour. Before you think anything strange is going on here. And that is what makes mochi mochi, and that is what I'm guessing will make these mochi brownies, on top of a couple of other things that I will do my best to actually explain as we go along. I'm doing my best here, people. Obviously my baking tutorials have not been with words yet, so we're doing what we can. But anyways, so you're going to need a cup of mochico. And it's just sweet rice flour, I guess, when I looked it up online. But if you go to the Reddit recipe, it does call it mochico, so I'm just warning you. Anyways, you're also going to need 2 large eggs. Please don't roll too far away. Okay, now you're going to need 1.5 cups of milk. And you're going to need a teaspoon of pure vanilla. You're also going to need 1 cup of sugar, which I knew I was going to forget something, and apparently that's what that was. You're going to need some baking cocoa, and I'm sorry, I can't deny this. Oh, God, that's the second time I did that. Anyways, I am a baker, so I have nice organic baking cocoa that's processed, but you don't have to get something this nice. Like, you can do this with, like, Hershey's cocoa, if that's what you prefer. Just get, like, this is dry cocoa powder. I don't know if I can do this one on hand, to be honest. I'll show you in a minute when we mix it all up, because that's not going to happen. And, oh, I forgot 2 things. So you're also going to need 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. So I'm going to find that real quick, because goodness knows. But anyways, you're also going to need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Good stuff. I'll be right back with the rest of the stuff I forgot now. Alright, so now that was shot completely weird, and I don't know, I hope I made the best of it in editing. Anyways, we're going to mix together all the dry ingredients in this bowl. So, that means first we're going to take 1 cup of the sweet rice flour. Kind of doing our best here. And we're going to take 1 cup of sugar and 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. So first I'm going to do my sugar. So I don't know, it seems logical I'm still holding the 1 cup. Go in there. Alright, I'm on the sink now. Whoops, I should stop being so loud. I'm terrible about this. Oh my god. Be careful, because if you breathe this stuff in, you'll be sick for a while. May or may not have done it a couple times. But it looks really pretty. And do not try to cinnamon challenge this. Like, kids, I'm not kidding you. This will hurt you. Like, it doesn't even taste good out of the brownies. It tastes good in the brownies. I don't want to make this sound bad, but like, alone, it's not a good thing. Anyways, so put that in there. And now, we want 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Let's get into the baking soda. Oh my gosh, it's still lingering in the air. Like, that's going to make it any better. I wonder how more bakers don't end up with lung problems with, like, all the things are around. Maybe they do and I just don't know. 1/2 teaspoon. So this is 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Now we're going to do our 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now this is kind of an important step. Oh gosh, I was so afraid the eggs were going to roll away from me there. So you're going to take them, you're going to want to whisk them all together. Not at your face, because that's not a good idea. Oh gosh. And you want to see them become like one color. It will be kind of lumpy because no matter what you do, cocoa powder's got some lumps. I mean, you could run it through a sifter if you really wanted to and you really like have the patience and time. These will kind of turn out like chocolate chips naturally in your brownie. So I never really care about worrying about it. My 2 cents. Break down the bigger pieces. Get it to look uniform, almost like it's brownie batter, but it's really not brownie batter. Not there yet. So, here's where things get kind of unique. And we're going to do things in a kind of interesting way. Oh, snaps. The eggs. Eggs are like my worst enemy in the kitchen. So I have butter that is pretty squishy. I don't want to squish it too much because it's going to make a mess, but I want to show you guys how that's pretty squishy butter. It's room temperature butter. And that is because we're going to mix it in with some liquids. And so now, if you were making like a pie or a puff pastry of some sort, you would do this, and you would leave these thick chunks of butter throughout the dough and like work it very lightly so that it would end up creating these giant air pockets as the butter bubbled and evaporated eventually in the baking process. I learned that in baking school and thought that was like the coolest thing to ever like happen or be told to me. So I'm passing that along to you. And that's what you're doing here. And that's the other part of how I assume we get this mochi texture of this airy, almost jelly cake type thing. And I'm assuming that's in this butter technique. And so first we're going to put our room temperature butter in. Oh my gosh. Throwing that away went so well. We have 1.5 cups of milk. We're going to try our best not to splash ourselves with, because that's not cool, bro. And we have our 2 eggs and a teaspoon of vanilla. Then you're going to take and you're going to whisk these together, and that should give you a mostly mixed together mixture with some kind of floating chunks of butter, which is maybe sounds weird right now, so hopefully when I have a visual to show you, it will sound a lot better and clearer. These might be a little strong. I find that's not the worst thing to ever happen, though. Sometimes a little flavor is good. A little. So, let's see. I can show this off without dumping it. Kind of working the whisk through to break the butter into chunks. And just spinning it around so you can kind of get those eggs mixed in. You really want to make sure the vanilla gets all the way mixed in. But you're kind of also trying to work the butter into chunks like a mixer. And the reason I don't actually put it in my mixer is because I'm afraid it was busted apart way too quickly. I did try to make puff pastry in my mixer once, and I've never regretted anything so much in my life. You don't really want to do the normal scrambled egg whisk around in circles. You kind of want to be pushing those pieces of butter to the bottom and like breaking them up so you get these kind of, you don't want huge chunks of butter, you want flakes of butter. Flakes is a super good way of thinking about this. And like I said, as that breaks up, once we mix the two together, we'll have this really yummy looking dough. At least, and now I am back. Now that we have the substance that looks like something you probably wouldn't want to have in your kitchen otherwise. Nice and chunky, right? Like I said, we're going to take our pretty brownie powder and dump it in. Oh gosh. And mix it in. Mix it in real good with our whisk. And then try not to break any of those big clumps of butter down. As you can see, they're a lot bigger of a contrast now. So you can see if you have anything that's too big. You really just are like, no, you want little flakes, because otherwise you're going to end up with like giant holes. Think about how much butter has to go is how much of a hole will have to go, especially if you want your brownies cooked all the way through. Because until that happens, your brownies won't actually cook. Baking science is weird, and it was a lot to process. I'm trying to make it easy, and I hope I'm doing a good job with that. But anyways, I don't even know, like, this is so random, but this is seriously my 2 favorite things, and to see this on Reddit was like, there's even a recipe that you can make bread like this, and so if this goes well, we may be on a thing. We'll see. Okay? We'll see how this goes. So, that honestly looks pretty good. We didn't over mix. That's always good. And I'm dumping batter everywhere. And I'll be back in just a minute with the pan. And I'm back! I'm really good at this, you guys. Anyways, so I sprayed it with Pam, with baking with flour or whatever in it. I used to try for a really long time to do this the old-fashioned method with butter and flour. And I'm not going to lie to you guys that I got really frustrated. I got really frustrated with the fact that in culinary school they used freaking Pam. And I was like, what is this world coming to? Apparently, that's how things work. It just works, guys. Just so simply. It's worth it. Anyways, now that my hands are icky and they smell like it, and I'm probably going to smell like it for 2 days, we're going to pour a delicious batter. Oh my gosh. I forgot a paddle. I cannot imagine. And look, it's even super cute on Star Wars. I love it. Okay. This bowl is so big. Oh my god. Try to get as much of it in there as we can. And they do make mention on quite a few things that these are meant to be thicker brownies. Just I'm like, okay, I'm really hopeful I didn't make these too thick, because I know you're supposed to use an 8x8 pan, and this is not technically an 8x8 pan. Okay, that tastes quite a bit like brownies. Weird texture. Man, I hope these cook up right, because this really could be disastrous. I'm suddenly realizing I like followed a recipe completely. I've read it completely blindly. But I had like 700 comments where like people were freaking out about it. And a lot of people said it was good. So I'm like, our cooking is generally pretty good. I mean, generally, I don't know. Anywho's, now that I've had my fun little sass, I have my pretty, this is super gelatinous, please. I really don't want to spill this on myself. I have my pretty pan all ready to go. And so, hopefully I remembered to make a note of this earlier, and you all have your undos preset to 350 hundo. I don't know, I'm trying to make it work. Anyways, 350 is what your oven needs to be on, and then we're going to go put that bad boy in there. And so there were varying times on what it said this needed to cook. Some people said that it needed like 70 minutes to cook. Some people said that it only took them like 60 minutes to cook it. And then there were people like me who kind of understand the convenience of a toaster, especially for small batch items like this. And yeah, those people said that it took about 30 to 45 minutes depending on how good your toaster was. So I'm kind of going to give a variety of times, and I will give a variety of times in the comments below, but also comments, the description below. I don't know. I am on one. Anyways, I will leave that down below for you guys. But the point is, if you do decide to use a toaster oven, something that I would suggest is to make sure it has something like a bake feature, or if it has a convection bake feature, that is a feature where it actually blows air circularly through the oven, which is more honestly the better thing to use for something like baking. Even something like a casserole or lasagna, a convection bake is a little bit more promising. It means that air is pushing, and that works. That works well for you. Trust me. Anyways, we're gonna go put this in the oven, because I don't know why I rambled about toaster ovens. Except for, yeah, mine's pretty cool. Alright, be back in a minute. They are in the super cute toast oven, yeah. Yeah. And it's set to 350 convection bake, and it's just gonna stay on for like, I don't know, like I said, 30 minutes, and then we'll check it and we'll see how it goes, and hopefully they look done, but if they don't, we'll just leave them for longer, and I'll let you guys know how long I end up cooking them. Yay, mochi brownies! Let's all hope this goes. Alrighty guys, so it's officially been 30 minutes. I know it doesn't nearly seem like it's been that long, but it has somehow. Anyways, I'm going to show you, because you can really easily tell without having to poke a hole in this little baby if it's done. And you see how it's jiggling? That means it's not done. So we put it back in the oven, and it's only jiggling like in the center. So I'm going to say we're going to give it another like 15 to 20 minutes and then see if it jiggles then. And I'm betting you that it probably won't, because it looks like it's pretty cooked. This doesn't work on all brownies. Not all brownies you can jiggle, but this is a special thing to these mochi brownies. They will stop jiggling when they are cooked thoroughly. So, cool. Be back, friends. This is a non-sponsored snack break. I just really like mochis, and this was kind of taking a while, and I was really excited and hungry, so I sat down to eat something. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so I burned it a little bit on the top, and as the great G-Eazy would say, these things happen. So don't put the rack too close to the top of the toaster. Good news also being that we can completely, we should turn this off as it continues to burn the brownies. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I just did that. Anyways, the point here is really that we can just slice off the top of those brownies and nobody will know the difference. So don't worry about that. We're gonna take these out and yeah, I'll just show you in a second. It'll be easier to show you in a second. Alright, so just like I said was coming, a few things about this. First off, like you can see, like you probably saw, ow, that hurt. Like you saw before, I burned the crap out of it. And like I said, that's okay. Cut it off. It doesn't matter. If you want to be super fancy, just put a little frosting over it, like chocolate, whatever. Nobody will know. The point here is watch. When you tap it, it's springy. And that's such a good thing, you guys. That means we probably did this right. And then when we cut into this, it's going to have the right consistency and texture. And that really makes me feel good. The other thing is that they said, oh gosh, do this without burning yourself through the camera. It should pull away from the edges. And it is completely on its own. That's that's special. That's the other thing that lets me know that it is good and done. So springy, it's not wet, moist, or popping out with any like, oh hey, I'm not done here. So this is done. We will be back in a few minutes with a delicious tasting. And now, for the moment of truth, my friends. How does it taste? I have my yummy cup of milk here in case this goes terrible. I just really like milk, so I mean, I figured why not. Kind of nervous, but let's see how it goes. I definitely cut the burnt part off. As you can tell, it has no top. Oh snap, that actually worked. That's so cool. Okay, yeah, they're really good. Yeah, so they were saying that you get like the inside of a mochi where it's like jelly and squishy and airy. You can really see how those air bubbles came out all through this delicious bad boy. And honestly, this is amazing. I mean, like, it's got really good flavor. I should add in there a couple notes. So, if you go to the Reddit link and you look at the recipe that they posted, they do talk about, you can add espresso powder, very little bit, to your brownies, and it'll just make them taste more chocolatey. And that might sound a little crazy, but it's like total truth. So, definitely a good tip if you want a little bit more of a chocolatey punch. I really like the subtlety of it without it. And I just like the flavor of Dutch cocoa, I'm going to be honest. So, yeah, I'm 100% about these. Also, I really wanted to say, these are naturally gluten-free. And that's just like, I don't know, honestly, that's a really hard food to find. It's something that completely, without having to alter the ingredients, and that honestly doesn't taste weird, is naturally gluten-free. And like, the texture on these is pretty dang. The flavor on them is pretty dang. I don't think that I could really find anything to complain about with these. And it really did mix my favorite, like, two desserts together. Brownies and mochis. I definitely suggest trying to make these. And I'd figure, too, that they're not so bad on a health scale. I mean, realistically, 1 cup of sugar compared to, I think maybe the 2+ cups of sugar that you put into regular brownies, and they still taste like really sweet brownies. Like, they are impressive. So give these a shot, my friends. I sure do hope you enjoyed my baking adventure. Soiree, I don't know what we're supposed to call this, but it worked out, so it was not a fail in the end, and I feel proud of that. Hopefully it can work out for some of you too, and maybe if you are struggling to figure this out, this will help you. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you guys for tuning in and stopping by. Make sure to leave a like on this video if you liked it. And yeah, comment down below if you got something fun to say. Let's have a conversation. As always, I am your host, the Dread Pirate Space Funds, and I hope you guys have a good day. Tuning out.
Oh, I think it's working. Okay, you guys, I've been stuck in the kitchen for 3 days now. Somebody send help. Send help. I can't figure out how to get out of here.